Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening in on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to brighten up the place. Let's get into this conversation/reality chat. I wanted to talk about something and speak to some things that I saw some people say that I don't agree with. And this is regarding Kandi. And as you know, that viral trash interview with that trash chick, Courtney, who has been a friend, quote unquote friend. Well, she's nobody's friend. Anybody that speaks about people like that, she's not a friend to anyone. I feel sorry for the people who actually say that she's actually a good person or she's a friend. But that interview that Kandi did on her YouTube channel, Speak On It, which I spoke about before, and in my personal opinion, Kandi is about her money. So for those who were wondering why she would interview her or somebody like her, because she knew that it would get the views. Okay. I personally just decided I was not going to watch that interview. But of course, I've seen people talk about it. And now the Neighborhood Talk, they have the unedited clip. And I'm going to get into that clip because I wanted to speak to some things that I saw some people say about Kandi in regards to why the interview was taken down, that portion was taken out, and then the interview was put back up on the platform.
Honestly, I was trying to just stay away from her sister because of this whole story about her mental illness. And, as you see, she's drinking tequila a lot in these scenes. And I'm like, I just don't want to have nothing to do with that.
You said, did I feel like, does she have a real, true mental illness? And I said to Drew, Drew, I have to be honest, I thought you had been lying about your sister having a mental illness because she seems so normal and like a woman who doesn't really have those type of problems or whatever.
Especially the way she explained her sister's illness to us, right? It was pretty extreme.
Right. It was very extreme. So I didn't think that, it was true. I was like, okay, is she just saying these things to get some type of sympathy or something?
Right.
But
or
then,
storyline.
Yeah. Well,
for Drew. So
I didn't say that. You said that, but kind of, I was thinking that. So when we went to the mental health retreat and her sister shared her story, and it was extremely emotional. Well, I guess there is, something that we can't see, people are going through things and you may not know what's going on. So I was like, okay, well, there's some truth to the situation.
Yeah. Ralph and I have talked about it, and I'm not going to necessarily share what his belief is. To me, it just felt a little like exploitation. If your sister has this mental illness, she's feeding her tequila constantly in these settings. I just don't think that's why would you do that for someone? I have mental illness in my family, and the last thing I'm going to do is have a loved one on a platform like this drinking and putting them in situations to fight and argue with people. I just don't think that's conducive to someone who has a mental illness. So that's just how I believe. I don't think it's a healthy environment. Right. And alcohol and mental illness just does not go together when someone's on medication and all. It just doesn't work.
I have to say, I like her sister. She's always really sweet to me. I mean,
child, she want to fight me every chance she gets. Let me just let my sister fight her or something, because I can't fight the mental ill woman.
No.
It's not going to be a good look.
No.
Together when someone's on medication and all. It just doesn't work.
I have to say.
Okay, guys, so you heard that. And basically, it infuriates me to no end when I hear people who either claim, like Courtney tried to say, well, I have mental illness in my family. What the hell does that even mean? Because a lot of people who say that, they are just saying it for the optics to kind of get people off of their back or to try to act like they have an understanding of how serious mental illnesses are and how important it is to take care of your mental health. And for those like Kandi and Courtney who make comments about people who have actually told you that they have dealt with mental health struggles to say, well, I questioned it because she always seemed cool when I was around her. She didn't really seem like she had any problems. Or to hear Courtney say she's constantly feeding her vodka. I don't believe that. You can, first of all, to say she's feeding her vodka is to insinuate that Drew is pushing her drinking alcohol. And I don't believe that that was the case. And also, if Drew does not have a problem herself, it is her choice to pivot whether she chooses to drink around that person or not. Would it be the most responsible thing to do if that person's mental health struggles have anything to do with alcohol? Because a lot of times it really doesn't. I'm not saying that drinking alcohol and having mental health issues is one of the smartest things to do, but it's a choice for the people who are around that person to choose whether they're going to pivot and step back from indulging when they're around that person or not. And so what Courtney was saying, I don't believe Drew was pushing her to drink alcohol. I don't. And as you saw at the retreat that they had, they didn't have any alcohol there. Yeah, Drew, she made a comment to the lady who was organizing and setting up the event about them having cocktails or something like that. But she wasn't saying it for her sister. I guess she was just saying it like, yeah, I would like to have a cocktail, but it was fine. It wasn't like, okay, no, we have to have a bar. So Courtney's full of shit. But this is what I wanted to speak to when it comes to this situation with Kandi and her team taking the interview down, taking out these clips, and then re-uploading the entire interview. I've seen some people make comments about Kandi having that nervous laughter, and she's just really non-confrontational, and she has the nervous laugh thing sometimes. If people say things, she may not really know what's appropriate or what to say. But I beg to differ when it comes to that, because I do believe that Kandi is an extremely smart person, and I'm not going to give her an out or a pass because people say, oh, well, she has that nervous laughter and she doesn't really know how to handle herself in situations that may seem awkward or uncomfortable. Kandi knows how to handle herself, okay?
Already said what you had to say. I talked to you. Okay. I had a conversation with Kandi. She had a conversation with Kandi, and I was trying to give you the whole spectrum. So what y'all want to take from it? Take from it. And I took it. Picture.
What did you take? No, slow down. Come on. So what happened? What's going on? I missed it. We good. What's going on?
You said what's going on?
Nah, I wasn't here, so what's going on?
We good. I came up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, y'all love each other, and that's all that
That's
matters.
all that matters.
Someone else's opinion of you, who cares?
I love my baby.
Well,
That's
I'm
all that
happy for
matters.
you.
Ain't nobody gonna change. I love my lady. That's what's up.
That's all that matters. Y'all acting real straight. No, for real.
Here comes Peter bucking up his chest at me like he gonna do something. Like, you don't walk up on a woman like that, like you checking me.
No, we have to say. Hold up. You know the rules. You know the rules.
What rules?
I'm so tired. I'm really tired. I will drag you in this bitch.
Whatever you say.
I wasn't talking to you, Peter. I ain't no man.
You told me what you doing.
Let me walk away. Where's she at?
All right, that's just one example. That was the infamous pillow talk fight on season 6. And Kandi was getting crunk, okay? So when people talk about the nervous laughter and Candy's not really confrontational and something's, she doesn't understand it or it's an awkward situation, she'll just sit there and laugh. I was like, no, I do not agree with that.
And I no longer can speak on the subject. So what I want to do is have Phaedra speak, because she's the one who told me that Kandi said that.
You said that? That I wanted to drug her.
So now we know.
Not
Oh my
say
God.
That. You said that.
You said it.
I did not say it. That is some bullshit.
I said I was told. I did not accuse you of that, Kandi. I asked you. And at that point, you told me it wasn't true, and I let it go. But what I'm telling you...
That's not true.
Yes, I did let it go. I absolutely let it go.
That.
But I'm telling you, I was told that by Phaedra, and she can explain to you where she got that.
I repeated it because I heard it.
No, she said it. She said it to you, Phaedra.
No, something was brought to me. I repeated it.
No, you told me she said it to you.
Oh,
See,
there you go. There you go.
About.
The lies. There you go.
Lies.
This bitch, I'm telling you, trifling. That's what I'm talking about, Portia. You keep saying, why I think she pulled your strings? Why would she tell you like that so you can run it back to me like that? Yeah. You and I never had a
You take the
problem.
ball.
We never
You take the ball for
had a
that.
problem.
You are
such a disloyal friend. I'm telling you. Ever. So you were going to believe her when she called you right before you and I were going to have an argument? Are you kidding me?
Say that about somebody if you didn't tell me that.
Don't cry now.
Please. Don't now.
I would never do that.
And now she let you take the damn fall.
Kandi, I would never, ever say something like that to you.
Let's be
if it
clear.
wasn't told to me in truth and
There's no
confidence.
tears even coming out your eyes.
You told me that. You told me she told you that. We just talked. Phaedra, tell me what's going on. But
Friends
you just
don't
told
do
me
that
on the
to
phone
friends.
2 nights ago that she told you. What are you saying? What? Are you? I'm a lie now.
No, I'm not saying you are a lie.
So you told her that Kandi told you that?
No, I said
Hold on.
I can't take this.
Hold on. You told her that Kandi told you that?
No, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave.
don't
Let's clear
leave
this
now,
up.
don't
Come on,
leave
let's clear it
now.
up, Portia. Let's clear it up.
Oh,
no, we're bullying
her now.
Let's
So
clear
you
it up.
told her that, Phaedra. She kept repeating, whoever told her this said that I told them that I was going to try to drug her. Now she's saying you told her that I told you that.
I did not say
We
that,
were sitting
Kandi.
at that table in Hawaii, and I kept asking you, why would she think that? Let's be clear, Phaedra. You know I have fun, but the one thing I would not do, I would not do no stuff about no drugs or nothing. This chick tried to turn it around and said that we tried to drug her. You knew that you told her that. You told her that.
Don't cry, Kandi.
Phaedra, I re-asked you, and you said that Kandi told you. You said, yes, she did. Do you understand how you have me looking in these streets and how she
Drag her,
looked?
Portia.
This ain't right.
You can
I don't
drag
give a
her
damn
now.
what nobody ever did. This is not
Liar.
right.
She's a
I would
fraud,
never
dog.
lie on somebody and say
Always.
something like that. I trust you as a friend. There's nothing that I think that you would tell me that could hurt me or damage someone else.
Even if somebody told you that, you know I don't do drugs.
No,
I don't even
hold
drink.
on. Let me tell
Why would you think it was cool
This
to say?
was that was 3 years ago. Phaedra told me this 2 days before you and I sat down. And she did not relate it to back then 3 years ago.
No,
you
but
said
you
that she
did.
said that after. So why? You said she told you. You said first person. You said Kandi told me this.
That Phaedra
You
told
said that she told you.
Well, listen, I'm going to stop that right there, but you pretty much get the drift of what I'm trying to say. You can agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. But listen, for Kandi to sit and question the mental health and mental illness of Drew's sister, okay, people were saying, well, Kandi, she always says the people she invites on that platform, it is their opportunity to speak on it, speak what they want to say. But That's not what just happened. It was Kandi chiming in and almost agreeing with what Courtney was saying. So it wasn't just her sitting and interviewing and allowing Courtney to spew the garbage that was coming out of her mouth. She was questioning it too. So trust and believe that clip, or those clips, I should say, was not just taken down because of what Courtney said. It was also taken down because of what Kandi said as well. Let's just be real. So I don't believe that the clips were taken down just for the sake of what Courtney said being offensive. It was also because of what Kandi said. It was to cover and protect Kandi. And that, in my opinion, is just pretty shysty. I'm going to read some comments from some people on this post on the Neighborhood Talk. Someone says, but Kandi sure be acting like she mind her business and she's messy as F too. Someone else says, yeah, no saying you seem normal did it for me. You know how many people walk around all smiles and full of life or suffering once they get behind closed doors? Shaking my head. And see, that's one of the things that really makes me so angry about this situation and really has me heated. Being the spouse of someone who has been clinically diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm married to a veteran. I've been married for 25 years. It is a hard thing to deal with, to cope with, and to live with. I've seen so much. I've seen so much that if I were to tell some people some things that I have seen or experienced that my husband has gone through and that I have by proxy gone through, some people may not even believe it because it doesn't present itself that way when he may be out in the public or on, on his post in his position in his career, or, out in public, or if we go to church together, or, something like that, or even with some family members who don't live with us, who don't see all of the things that he has gone through. So it is extremely offensive for anyone to question someone's mental health when they freaking talked about it and said that this woman was in a hospital for it. Like, are you kidding me? That's just absolutely insane and unreal. And I don't have any respect for Courtney, and I've lost a lot of respect for Kandi, because to see it even now, being able to witness it, see the clips, Kandi and her team didn't take it down because of what Courtney said. They took it down to cover what Kandi said. It was to protect and cover Kandi. So now she's going to have to come out and address it. And I'm quite sure she's probably already done that by the time that I've recorded this conversation. I'm not saying that she may not have remorse for what she said and done, because we're all human and we all make mistakes. But that doesn't mean that we have to understand it or even respect it. We can hear what you have to say, but is it really genuine? And for me, I just believe Kandi is about her money. I'm not saying that she was deserving of the things that Phaedra said about her many years ago. I'm not even one of those people that feels like she should reconcile with Phaedra or give Phaedra the opportunity to speak to her on a public platform like the Real Housewives of Atlanta and allow people to get the opportunity to witness it for the sake of views. I'm not even saying any of those things, but it is definitely, to me, questionable. And to me, it really looks like she did it to cover herself. I really get emotional when it comes to talking about subjects like this, because I definitely have had my experiences with it. And when you have people that sit and question it, when a lot of times people, like this commenter said, are suffering, but they try to walk around in public spaces around other people that they don't have to be around all of the time, to try to look what we call in society as normal, trying to present themselves as normal and smiling. And when someone asks you, hey, how are you doing? Most people are going to respond and say, fine. That is the number one response that most people are going to give when they get the question, hey, how are you doing? Most of the time, the response is going to be fine. I'm good. All is well. Most people are not going to tell people, I'm not okay. And even people who don't present with mental health problems, sometimes they may have undiagnosed issues. So you can't say, oh, that person doesn't have any mental health issues, or they don't have a mental illness, or nothing's wrong with them. They're just faking it. Listen, this dark world that we live in, people go through so much. They go through so much that it really is easier to say that most people have some issues with their mental health that are undiagnosed. I'm not saying that everyone's a paranoid schizophrenic, or everyone has post-traumatic stress disorder, or everyone has a very severe form of some mental illness. I'm not saying that, but depression is real. It's a mental health issue as well that a lot of people don't address. A lot of people don't go to therapy. And most people don't go to medical doctors where they're getting their brain scanned to see if there may be some polyps or some lesions on the brain or anything like that that can also trigger other mental health issues. And I know that I'm probably going a little bit deeper than most of you care to hear about or even expected. But when it comes to mental health issues and illnesses, this is just not something that people can take lightly. It is real. And a lot of times people contribute to those issues and they don't even really realize it. You know, so we have to be really careful when it comes to talking about these subjects at all. And if you don't have any experience with it, or definitely if you don't have any respect for it, then you really should just keep your mouth shut and not talk about it. Seriously. So, yeah, in my personal opinion, I feel like the deleted scenes were taken out to cover more so Kandi, because I don't think Kandi gives a damn about Courtney. If Courtney was going to stand out there on a limb on her own, but yeah, on her platform to say some things that were outlandish and just outrageous and ridiculous, then she would allow it to stand and let people come at Courtney and maybe respond to it, but she wouldn't have taken it down. But the mere fact that Kandi was sitting there questioning things as well, it looks bad on her as well. Another person says, this is the most ignorant convo to have over someone else's business and mental health. Everybody's mics and cameras needs to break. Someone else says, Kandi always throwing stones and hiding her hands. It's played out at her big age. Someone else says, oh, no. This is no good. Very inappropriate, like major cringe. Someone else says, Kandi's just like her mama. She just hides it better. Another one says, what does mental illness look like? They sound dumb. Someone else says, y'all act like Kandi does no wrong. Kandi likes to throw the rock and hide her hands. This is sad. Another one says, they both clearly need some education on mental illness. There's no set. Look, SMH. Someone else says, people with mental illness struggle. Imagine how much fight it takes her daily to push through just to appear normal to the world. This convo was corny and lame as hell. Another one says, Kandi, you are too damn old to act this ignorant. Please do some research before you open your mouth about anything else. For a woman that minds her business, her mouth stays open. Another one says, I like Kandi and feel the hate she typically receives is not justified, but this whole conversation was ignorant as hell, and I can't believe she participated in and posted this foolishness. Any and all backlash she receives from this is warranted. And see, this is what I'm saying. I'm not someone that throws hate towards Kandi. I sometimes get a bit annoyed with like, oh, here we go, another business venture, another launch, another product, another, whatever. Everything's about the bag. Everything's about the money. But if you have the opportunity to do it and you're hiring other people and it's giving them jobs in the community or whatever, by all means, okay, fine, I guess. But I'm overseeing it all the time. But I don't issue or throw any hate her way. But this right here, I have absolutely no respect for, no tolerance for. I mean, when I listened to those clips, I got extremely emotional because it's like picturing this woman, beautiful woman, by the way, to come on this platform that is petty as hell as the Real Housewives of Atlanta, to give something that's more than the normal sitting around the dinner table at a restaurant fussing about some petty foolishness. Yeah, I watch it, but it's just like lame entertainment for me at this point, because this isn't the only type of content that I consume. I consume a lot of educational content. I consume a lot of spiritual content, and I even keep my eyes on politics as well. I may not talk about all of these things on this platform, but I am extremely multidimensional. I'm not just someone who sits around and just watches reality TV all the time. I actually don't watch it that much, but I digress. Things like this, I have absolutely zero tolerance for. And her coming on the Real Housewives of Atlanta to discuss something as important and as extremely serious as mental health issues and illnesses, I'm quite sure that a lot of people who watched this respected it, appreciated it, and would love to see more stuff like that, because a lot of people experience things like this in the dark, in private. They don't share because they don't want to be judged. I understand it as well, because even on my other platform, if you want to go to my other YouTube channel, I have the link in the description box. I've discussed some things where it involves mental health issues and the things that I've gone through, some of the things rather, I've gone through with my husband, and the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, and even dealing with it in my own personal life because of some things that I have experienced, and also by proxy what he's going through. It is heavy and it is a lot. Sometimes I watch mindless content like reality shows to kind of take my mind off of things like that I'm going through on a regular everyday basis. So to hear these two sit and discuss this in such a trash way, just keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouths off of people. Kandi sounded extremely just stupid. I'm sorry. She sounded stupid, and she took this down to cover herself. It wasn't about Courtney. Yeah, they had the conversation. It was the two of them, but it wasn't just Courtney. So I was a little bit wrong when I shared my commentary yesterday, because of course I didn't see the clips, but from what I saw reported, they said it was taken down due to inappropriate comments that Courtney said about Drew Sidora's mental health. But no, it was both of them. And Kandi, being the person who has this platform, who brought her on that platform, and to indulge and to give banter back and forth with her about this and agreeing with her, I absolutely have no respect for her. Absolutely none. And listen, if they have actually fired all of these women from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I wouldn't be sorry to see her go. At this point in time, I was one of the people that was like, no, I mean, hey, if they bring her back, fine. I did speak several times about them needing a recast and a reboot. But if they brought her back, I wouldn't have been mad. But at this point in time, I don't want to see her back either. I'm done. So anyway, guys, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subbing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.